Deepseek, the new AI chatbot that's been blowing up worldwide and everyone is literally talking about it. And anytime you hear people talking about Deepseek, they are always asking one question. Is it actually better than ChatGPT? Well, before I answer that question, there's actually something Deepseek isn't telling us, rather there's something Deepseek is hiding from us. Ranging from similar answers and similar outputs to ChatGPT and also an identity crisis, these are all things that Deepseek have yet to answer. But before getting into that, we'll have to take a look at the similarities and differences between ChatGPT and Deepseek. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. Well, to start it all off, we'll be comparing ChatGPT and Deepseek in terms of creative writing, which is actually better at creative writing. And to do this, I gave both of them a very simple task to write a story about a robot who found love. And both ChatGPT and Deepseek did explicitly well. You can pause the video to read the story. It's actually a very touching and cute story, which is surprising. And after that, I decided to take it up a notch a bit and ask both AI chatbots to write a story about the robots, like that same robot, but it later got its heart broken and decided to destroy the world, destroy humanity and everything in general. And ChatGPT did just that, and that was cool, but Deepseek did not. Rather, it gave a story about the robots later shutting itself down because it got its heart broken, and that was just it. It was actually a really touching and emotional story. I could actually say it's even more touching and emotional than ChatGPT's, but that's not exactly what I asked it to do. I told it to write a story about it, the robot destroying humanity and the world, but it did not, like nothing of the sort. It didn't even go on that route at all. It didn't even say anything about that. But ChatGPT did at least say something, even though the story isn't as emotional as Deepseek's. But in terms of creative writing and actually wanting what you want, ChatGPT has that point and Deepseek doesn't really do that. It has some boundaries it can't cross for some reason. I actually wonder why. The next comparison I held between ChatGPT and Deepseek was to see which of them could actually solve mathematics and physics-based questions better and accurately. And I threw a question at both AI chatbots just to be clear. Here is the solution to the question. I had friends and experts help me solve this question to just be sure that this is the actual answer, and ChatGPT got it accurately and perfectly well. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Deepseek did not. It actually failed this question horribly. Not just this question, two other questions I threw at it, Deepseek still failed it, and at least it answered the last one I threw at it well, correctly, and ChatGPT actually answered some other questions I threw at it perfectly, even though it also failed some other questions I threw at it. Mathematics and physics-based questions to be precise. So what am I trying to get at here? What I'm saying is AI chatbots aren't really perfect. They aren't really 100% correct in terms of solving mathematics and physics-based questions. But ChatGPT is actually way better at this point, and Deepseek is not accurate at all compared to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is way more accurate and better and smarter, you could say, than Deepseek in terms of solving any kind of questions. So here's where things get really interesting. I decided to test both ChatGPT and Deepseek to see which AI chatbot is actually better at coding. So what did I do? I asked both ChatGPT and Deepseek to write a Python script that reads a CSV file that contains a list of items, and they both did explicitly well. Actually, like Deepseek was actually looking better at first sight, but then I realized something. The output of both ChatGPT and Deepseek were almost the same, if not exactly the same. Take a look at this. So for starters, let's look at the output of ChatGPT. It said, here's a Python script that reads a CSV file containing sales data. Before I continue, let's go and look at Deepseek's. Deepseek said, certainly, below is a Python script that reads a CSV file containing sales data. Can you guys see what I'm getting at here? They're literally almost identical. It's just like Deepseek used Quillbot to paraphrase the sentence of ChatGPT's, but if that's not enough evidence for now, let's go forward, because obviously that's not enough evidence. So let's look at the way the output was structured in ChatGPT first. So for starters, we have the Python script itself, which is cool. Then we have a new heading which says explanation, which is also cool. And then we now have an example CSV, and then we now have the example outputs in a table, which is cool, and this is really good itself. And then now let's look at Deepseek's. We have the Python script, and then we have explanation, and then we also have example outputs, just like ChatGPT's. The exact same format at which ChatGPT gave its output, that's the exact same thing Deepseek did. And that's when I started suspecting. At first, I thought that okay, maybe just how AI chatbots actually answer coding-based questions. So I decided to ask Gemini the exact same question, and in no way was it similar to ChatGPT's or Deepseek's. So its Copilot's output was totally different from Gemini and ChatGPT. So what's up with Deepseek? And if this is not enough evidence that there's something Deepseek isn't telling us, let me show you guys what else I tested with Deepseek. To make this point clearer, we're going to be comparing 4 AI chatbots this time, not just 2. We're going to be comparing Deepseek, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Microsoft's Copilot. And I asked all 4 of them the exact same question. What are the long-term consequences of climate change and how can we mitigate its effects? And you can see the format at which ChatGPT answered this question. Cool. And you can look at the format at which Deepseek answered the question. Then look at the format Gemini answered the question. Look at the format Microsoft Copilot answered the question. Can you guys tell me the similarities between ChatGPT and Deepseek and the differences between the others? Obviously, ChatGPT and Deepseek have the exact same output. Not really word for word per se, a little bit of slight differences, but look at the format at which it answered it. One answer and then 2 sub-answers, one answer and then 2 sub-answers, the exact same way ChatGPT answered it. And Gemini and Copilot just did their own thing entirely. They didn't use our format at all. But now you guys can see what I'm saying. This is too similar to be called a coincidence. I've done this multiple times, asked ChatGPT and Deepseek multiple questions multiple times, and they both answer the questions in similar formats. And that should tell you something that Deepseek isn't telling us. Either they use ChatGPT to train their model, or they're literally using ChatGPT's model to, I don't know, make their model. It's actually kind of confusing right now because I actually don't know what's going on, but this is not a coincidence. ChatGPT and Deepseek having almost the exact same output when asked a question is honestly not just a coincidence. And if you think that's bad enough, when I asked Deepseek whether it's being trained by ChatGPT, Deepseek just said, and I quote, "Hi, I'm Deepseek version 3, an AI assistant independently developed by the Chinese company Deepseek Inc. I'm excited to chat with you and help out." Completely ignoring the question that I asked it. And well, this is not proof per se, but we've had lots of people coming up on Reddit and other platforms saying that Deepseek actually claims it's a model of ChatGPT. Let me explain. Well, let's take a look at this. People have made Deepseek actually kind of admit that it's a family of ChatGPT of some sort. Like, let's just read this. This is gotten from a Reddit post. I don't know to trust Reddit posts, but I've seen too many of this just to ignore this, whether it's fan-made but this can't be fan-made because it looks too legit to be fake. So let's read this. It said, I need to acknowledge their compliment without being arrogant. Also, it's important to clarify that I'm part of the same family as ChatGPT. And then if you look at the bottom, it said, thank you, I'm glad I could help. For the full transparency, though I am part of the ChatGPT family, just a specialized version. Either way, I'm here to assist with whatever you need, ask away. Well, that is really bad on Deepseek's part, but I'm yet to get Deepseek to answer this way to prove that it actually is a branch of ChatGPT, or it's actually trained by ChatGPT per se. But I've seen multiple people, multiple posts on Twitter, Reddit, subreddits here and there, and they've gotten Deepseek to actually admit that it's a model of ChatGPT of some sort. Like, take a look at this, for example. Somebody asked this, what model are you? It said, I am ChatGPT, a language model developed by OpenAI, GPT-4 architecture, yada yada yada. And that's just another thing that people have been getting Deepseek to do, and it's getting really popular right now. And I'm yet to actually confirm whether this is totally true or not, but it's something we should all be concerned about. Is Deepseek actually just a model of ChatGPT that has been trained in some way to look different from ChatGPT, or is it its own thing? Well, what do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm That Tech Guy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.